Welcome to episode 10 of the Wilderness Podcast. Today is November 7th, 2016. I am your host, Dills, and with me is Deagin.
Hey guys, what's up?
How's it going over there?
Hey, pretty good. A lot of schoolwork and stuff, but can't really complain. How about you?
Same old shit, just scaping. That's about it.
Nice.
Just did a bit of scaping this week.
Yeah, I don't even think I've opened up, Scape at all.
Oh, what? Blasphemy.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, man. I've had so much schoolwork.
Dude,
and
that's why you need to fucking drop out of school, man. Fuck school. It's taken away from the gains.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are the gains at in architectural design, or whatever the hell it is?
Shit, dude, gotta get the construction up, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking make the nicest
expensive,
POH.
though. It's expensive.
Yeah. No, I think I've had 2 or 3 hours of playing games, and sadly I played some WoW. I kind of got bullied into it.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Good old WoW. World of Warcraft.
Yeah. So, what have you done this week?
No, that was about it. Tell me about World of Warcraft. How's the adventures there? Didn't you go raiding last week or something?
Okay, funny story. So, I think on Monday I mentioned that I had a bunch of schoolwork I had to get done.
Probably.
I don't know if I mentioned I was
yeah.
going to head to the college.
Actually, you had a project due last week when you were with the group of the intelligence.
Oh no, they wanted to have it done. Oh fuck, that's a whole nother story. That shit is fucked up.
You got kicked out of the group, didn't you? You're out of the group.
No, actually. So
you showed up on school the next day. They're just like, get the fuck out.
I thought I couldn't get kicked out, No,
Teacher
but
just yeah, leave. You're done. You're done. Don't
no,
come back
actually
to
though,
class.
with that though, in my group there's 2 40-year-olds, there's 2 adults, and I guess they came back to change careers.
Got fucking grown-ups in your class?
Oh fuck yeah.
Oh,
I have
shit.
2 or 3 people. I actually creeped one of them. The guy in my group's 38, and then the woman is 42, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, and they're both really smart.
You should ask if they've had a midlife crisis yet.
I think they both have. That's why they're there. But okay, so I gotta go back a bit. So on Monday, I had a project that was due, the next day, and I had to finish it up. I'm in the same boat right now, but I'm pretty much done it. So after the podcast, I went, packed up all my shit, took a shower, just because I knew, all right, this is my morning shower pretty much. And I went to the
shower
school.
for the week. Let's make it last.
Yeah. So I went to the school and I was doing this. I was doing a bunch of work, and then I fucked up. I fucked up really hard. And so I had to redo a bunch of it. And I was supposed to be done at 3 in the morning, and I was actually working till 7:30. And so I worked for 10 hours straight or something because I fucked up really, really badly, and I had to redo half of it. and I finished it just before class started, and probably isn't the best quality of work just because I had first there was a point where I had 30 minutes left of the project doing it, and I'm just fucking drawing lines. All right, fuck it, this is just how fuck it. I'll change some things later.
Gone
this
delusional.
Yeah, this is just how it has to go. And I go and I finish it, hand it in, whatever. And then, so that was Tuesday. So during Tuesday, at the end of my class, I went and I got started on doing my project that's due for tomorrow. So this Tuesday, the 8th of November. And then, a bunch of shit happened, and I ended up, I went to bed on Tuesday, slept for 3 hours or something. And then, just continuing doing school. I had a bunch of schoolwork to do, and I had a big thing due on Thursday, so I had to go and fix all that up. And then I also had to do a bunch of research for this history project that now I'm gonna kind of bring up. So
okay.
I'm doing a bunch of work, and it's now it's Thursday at 3 in the morning, and it's been 3 days, and I've slept for 5 hours probably total. So I'm super delusional. And I'm sitting at the computer, and it's
you're just scaping out of muscle memory playing RuneScape.
Yeah.
Shit, what am I doing? I've got 10 minutes left.
I'm just 3-tick fishing.
Yeah.
No, I'm 3-tick shrimp. I'm not even doing anything.
For class, you just so what did you get finished? You just print off your high scores. Here are my skills.
Yeah. Print off my friggin' Bando's kill count. The assets, or the BCP. But it's like, yeah, 6 in the morning on a Thursday, and I have like an in-class assignment that I'm doing at 8.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, like I'm totally fucked. And it's like 6 o'clock, and I like get into the like lab, and I start like doing this research and shit. And then there's 2 other kids in there. And like, I'm just like sitting next to the printer, sitting as far away from them as possible. And I have my headphones in, I'm listening to music, and I just hear banging and shit. And I just hear just slamming on the table. And I look, and then there's just like this Asian kid freaking out, like slamming the keyboard and shit, screaming like, it's 6:30, it's 6:30, I'm done. And his friend's just looking at me. And I'm like, I'm super fucking tired.
Pissed, or is he like celebrating?
He's freaking out. No, he's so mad. He's like, fucking emotional breakdown. He's screaming, smashing the keyboard and shit, freaking out. And I'm just like, holy fuck, this. And I just like stop doing my work, and I'm just like turn around, like stand, and I just like watch this kid freak out. And he just like walks out of the classroom, and his friend's just like, well, looks like we're failing. And he just packs up his shit and left. I'm like, oh fuck. So I like finish up my research, fall asleep at like 7, wake up at 8, and because like I set my alarm so I go wake up at the start of class. I wake up, and I notice that nobody has came in, and no one actually woke me up before my alarm. And I'm like sitting in class, no one's there. Pull out my phone, my fucking professor canceled class like 3 in the morning. Man. He canceled class.
That sucks. I hate when that happens.
But it was good because I went back on my research that I did, and I looked over my research, and like, fuck, I'm super, super tired at this point where like literally in the corner of my eye, I'm just seeing shit happen. Just like these minor hallucinations. Yeah. I'm so exhausted.
No, I know.
And I'm like, I look at all the research I've done. It's so fucked. Like it's so shit. Like it's awful. Like
it's
I
all
look
in
at
Spanish. I don't even know how to speak Spanish.
Actually though, like because I'm not going to like copy and paste everything because plagiarism. So I'm like rewording everything, but I'm writing sentences that don't make any sense.
Oh, okay.
Where like clearly I'm rewriting one sentence, but I'm looking at another one, and I'm reading that while you know what I mean? Like I'm mixing sentences together. They don't make any sense. So I go and fucking spend like instead of doing my like that in class that got canceled, I like redo all my shit. Go to my history class, and I'm like so tired, and I like go up to one person in my group, and I'm like, yo, we have a meeting today. I have all my shit. And she's like, yeah, we're not having a meeting today. We like can't get a hold of like this 40-year-old girl or 40-year-old woman. Like
grown-ups.
She hasn't even shown up all week. And like, she's like a really good student. I know because I sit next to her in some classes, and I'll glance at her, like tests and stuff, when we get them back just to see how I fare agags them. And she
all
does
the notes
get,
are cited for some reason. It's her own personal notes.
No, like she's like a pretty good student, but like she just went like AWOL, and we have like a little Facebook group, and like they sent her messages, and then she leaves the group and blocks both of them.
What the
Doesn't
fuck?
block me though. She just like blocks both of them, doesn't hand in any work, nothing. She just like fucks off like completely. So I go and I creep the shit out of her Facebook account, and I'm like, okay, she getting divorced or something, someone in her family died, like something had to, I can't find anything, she's gone, shot her a message, she blocks me. So it's like shit. And
you
then
we haven't done you had one shot. You get one message before she blocks you. Like you got to make it count.
But see, the good thing is like I've had like a lot of time to redo a bunch of my research and shit.
Yeah.
But like, man, it was so fucked. I was so tired that one day.
Wait, is that the end of that though? You never figured out what happened to her?
Nope, haven't heard from her since. Nothing. She's gone.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, but that night where where like I was up like for like 70 something hours, got like 5 hours of sleep in total. I had to raid that night. I had to do some WoW raids.
Shit.
So I went to go take a 3-hour nap, and this is like I got home at
That's
like
not
3.
a nap. That's like minor sleep.
Yeah, I guess. But I get home at like I think it was like 5 o'clock or something in the evening, and I'm like, all right, sleep, wake up at 8, do the raid, go back to bed, and I fucking slept for 15 hours straight.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, wait. Hold on, wait. You stayed up for 72 hours.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to take a 3-hour power nap, and you thought you would be able to wake up.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea.
That was the delusional talking.
And I mean, even if I had woken up, like, let's be real, if I'm going to wake up to do a raid that, like Like, I don't want to fucking wake up for a video game. It's so stupid. I don't even know why I thought I could do it.
Yeah, that's...
But yeah, I got in a little trouble for that. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys.
All right, that's
Fuck you
one
guys.
strike.
Yeah, for real. Fuck that shit.
So that was your raid night, eh?
Yeah, it was pretty eventful. Just sleep. Just go into
probably
a
waited the
hibernation.
whole time.
No,
Guy,
they
he's
didn't.
3 hours late. No, he's gonna be here. I promise. This guy
I
always
told
shows
one
up.
of them. I told one of them, like, yo, I'm gonna take a nap before the raid. It's like, all right, man. And then that was it. Woke up with like a couple texts and some Snapchats being like, where are you? But I think they got the point after like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I rarely raid and shit now. I don't have the time, and the times that they normally like want to do it is fucking stupid. Like Friday 11 to 3, Saturday 11 to 3 at night. So like you can't do anything Friday, Saturday night. And then now they raid on Wednesdays 8 till 11.
Well, that's,
and it's
man,
like
the normies go out on the weekend, so it's
yeah.
they're actually saving you.
It's funny because I told them, I was like, guys, like, you know what? If we had any other time, like I could even make it on like Fridays and Saturdays, but I can't do it at like 11 at night to 3 in the morning. And because that implies, because I have to get up at like 5:36 on Fridays, depending on how bad the weather is and if there's construction.
True.
Because sometimes it actually takes me like 2 hours to get to school with the with construction and shit.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, yo, like you guys are expecting me to pull like 21 plus hour days just to fucking make it to a raid, and they're like, they all like get offended and shit. And I'm
For
like,
a game you play casually.
Yeah, it's like, you know, fuck you guys. Like I want to do, you know, whatever. You know, just kind of like leave it at that. Make up an excuse why I can't raid, and then just don't.
I don't know. That's the issue I have with WoW. I find like to actually get on and do stuff, you need to sit down for a good at least an hour. And on top of that, a lot of it's like you got to commit to certain times and stuff like that. Like, oh, this time every week to go raiding, or this time every week to do like the guild battlegrounds, the PvP shit.
Yeah.
But and just comparing with RuneScape, I like how RuneScape you can just. I feel like you can just jump on and play for 10 minutes. And like this morning, I normally when I get up for work, because I gotta get up at like. Depends, but on a normal day, 6 a.m. I have to get up, and then I leave the house at 6:30. The past month or two, I've been waking up at 6:30 and then scrambling and being late to work every day. But anyways, I woke up at 6 today and made some breakfast, and I was like, you know what? And I was waiting for something my coffee to finish brewing, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump on my Pure and get my quest started for tonight when I get home. Get that set up.
Yeah.
I got that set up, and I actually felt like, okay, this is going to help me. WoW, you never get that feeling. Now, the only problem is, with WoW, I find you can kind of run out of things to do. Like, you can play you can play too much during the week and be like, well, I should take a break, because a lot of things are gated off every week. Then with
exactly.
RuneScape, you could easily find yourself playing for 24 hours and just being like, there's not enough time.
Yeah, that's the one thing I love and hate about RuneScape, because like, I just love grinds in games. Like my favorite games are just grindy games.
Yep.
And I really love with RuneScape how you can turn like fishing
for
or wood
hours
cutting
on end.
Yeah, you could do one task for 10 minutes, or you could do it for 2 months straight. You know what I mean? Like you can, and it's really nice because you can sit down and play. Just do whatever the hell you want. Do like 10 minutes of Slayer, start your task and get to the location or whatever. Or like, oh man, I want to just like play all day and knock out a bunch of quests and stuff. Which that's usually what I like to do if I'm like doing long days of it. And like, shit, you sit down and you play for like, let's just say like 8 or 9 hours. Like you spend like a lot of time during that day playing RuneScape, or 15 hours, however long you play. Generally, you're gonna feel way more accomplished than like. Wow. Cause like,
oh yeah. No, 100%.
Cause like, yeah, like let's like when I was doing NMZ and I was like doing Guthins, I think at one point I Guthined for like 18 hours straight or something when I was doing schoolwork and stuff. And like, I was getting like 60 or something K experience an hour. Mm-hmm. And I got like a level or two, and you're like, oh man, like that feels pretty nice. Like I'm just doing schoolwork and I like got all these like sick EXP gains, yo. And then there's like WoW, where you sit down for 15 hours and like you go from level 100 to 110, and now you're done leveling forever. Well, until the next expansion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
so like the shit that I don't know. There's just like way more.
They're almost polar opposites of games in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like both grindy, but they're like very different. And as far as MMO RPG games go, like they're similar but completely different.
RuneScape is all about like it's not like how you get there, or it's not like where you go, but it's how you get there, I guess. It's like, yeah, it's more of just about like getting to your destination. That's where all the fun is. Like getting 99. Well, I can't say this because I've never gotten 99, but you get more of the fun like going from level 100 to 98 than like getting 98 to 99, because it's just like, yeah, you do so much shit, and it's like that's like where the fun is. But with WoW, it's like, all right, you want to rush max level, and now you're just rushing for the best gear. You're just finding the most efficient ways to run these dungeons. You're finding every exploit to get them done faster, and then now you have best gear, and like now you wait 2-3 months for another raid, so you can do this all over again. And like RuneScape is kind of like, yeah, you spend a couple months, you get like a 99 or whatever, or you set your own goals kind of, and like once you get there, you're like, fuck, that was sick. I gotta keep doing that. Like, you get way more of a sense of accomplishment in RuneScape than in WoW. And like, I played both of them a lot, and like, I always feel way better about like how I play RuneScape pretty much is I have a huge list of shit that I have, like I write down on my OS Buddy client in the notes. And then I just like, all right, today I'm going to do these quests, or I'm going to, do this on my pure, or, do this many like attempts at Bandos or something, or just whatever. You just set your goals, you get them done, and you're like, oh, it feels fucking sick. All right, like now what do I want to do? Like now that I have these, like what's the plan? And it's just fun, like setting them up, getting them all knocked off. Like, I don't know.
I completely agree. I love, like, I'm very unorganized, but I'm also very organized at the same time, if that makes sense. So what I mean is I love planning for, I hate planning for real life. I'll sit here and procrastinate and be like, oh, great, the power is getting turned off today. But on RuneScape, I know exactly what I got planned out for the next 20 years. I got 20 years of updates that they're going to do, and I'm all ready for that. But I mean, like, you could, if you went around my house and collected every little notebook that we probably have like 7, because we both like to write, me and my girlfriend like to write lists and plan out things and stuff like that. But out of the 7 books, you'll probably find 3 or 4 of them that have just a shit ton of RuneScape stuff written in them. That's just like plans for peers, plans for skillers, plans for some other things that I planned on doing I probably just forgot about, and I ended up quitting at one point, and I came back and decided let's set new goals. But no, I have tons, and and I just want to expand on what you're saying with it's all about the destination. It's about the journey, not the destination. That's what RuneScape is. The type of game. If I talk to you, if I were to ask you, or if I were to ask, Bobby Joe down the street, or fucking whoever, about, tell me about your first, I don't know, tell me your first week of playing. Do you remember what you did? And you'd be like, I probably did this, or like, this is my path down, the first 20 hours of gameplay. And I guarantee you the 3 of us will all have completely different gameplays. Oh, I went and fished. Oh, I went and did quests. I went and killed monsters. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool like that. I really enjoy it.
You know what I always find funny? Like, I still remember the day that, like, fucking, I was like, man, RuneScape is sick when I first started playing. Because, I don't know, I remember, like, playing, like, getting on, you telling me about the game, and I got on, and I fucking made some stupid ass, my name was, like, Deco7.
Deco7, I remember that.
Because I like soccer, my name was Derek, so Deke. I don't know, and then 07, because I fucking was obsessed with James Bond when I was a kid. Thought he was so cool.
I think that was a kind of sick name, Deco7. That was it was better than Bubba.
Yeah, my account got like sucked into the void when I made like 6 password changes in an hour.
I remember you lost. I can't remember what happened, but you just
the account just vanished. Like I remember sitting like at home, and I was like on my computer, and I'm like, I don't like my password, because I think I played Hobble or something at the same time, and my Hobble password was 12345, and it got hacked. Some random dude guessed my password and hacked it. Yeah, and I was so upset about that. I remember like crying, and like my dad be like, "What's wrong, Derek? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "My fucking Hobble account got hacked." And he's like, all right, don't give anyone your password and, whatever. So I went and changed my RuneScape password because it was really similar to something like that. It's probably like my first name, 12345 or something. And I changed it to like so many, I changed my password like so many times, and I like would change it. Oh, I don't like that password. I'll change it again. Oh, I won't remember that password. And I kept changing it. And then one time I changed it and it's just like the account, like whatever, your account information is incorrect. I'm like, no, I know it's correct. I just changed my password. Look my name up in the high scores and it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I remember that. Cause I think I was there and I'm like, no, listen. Look, you're still on the high scores. Look, we type your name in. Oh, you're gone.
Yeah. That happened to me twice. That happened to me fucking twice. And my friend happened to like one of my good friends once. But, that's not what made me love RuneScape. That made me fucking quit that game for a while.
And that's how the abusive relationship was born.
Yeah, actually, the account I play now was an account me and my friend created together as a complete, like, joke.
And you're banned.
Yeah, friggin', what were we, like, grade 3 or grade 4? We were fucking little. We made, like, the stupidest name. Anyways. But, yeah, I remember, like, playing, like, my Deco 7 guy, and I was, like, just, like, killing goblins and shit, and just doing random stuff. And I remember, like, looking at my stats, and I had, like, 22 attack, like, 18 strength, and I had 1 defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea how to train defense. Mm-hmm. And I remember asking you how to do it, and you're like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I told you this, but the way I thought you raised your defense was if you got hit. So I used to stand there just taking hits, being like, okay, is it gonna level up soon?
Yeah, like, I had no idea how to do it, and like, I don't know, I just remember so long, like, killing cows and just killing random monsters, trying to get a defense level and just trying to figure this game out. And then I remember you like, oh, Derek, I figured out how to do it. I figured out how to raise your defense. And I'm like, how do you do it? And you like opened up the combat tab and just clicked defensive, like, attack or whatever.
You probably just like, oh my god, how'd you figure that out?
You just click a fucking button and then you're like, oh shit, I got defense now.
I fucking tripped on the mouse, man, and hit it, and it fucking accidentally clicked the defense.
Whoa.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone else on RuneScape knows this.
Man, I remember just being like, holy shit, there is so much to this game that I'll never know. And I just like, yeah, play the shit of it for a long time, I guess.
Very long
But yeah, I remember
time.
that being like groundbreaking, like how to level your defense.
Yeah, I can't really remember too much of when I first started playing. I remember trading like I don't know if it was rune items, but like getting, rune daggers and maces and warhammers. This is a long time ago. I'm talking maybe 13 years ago. Didn't we say we played in 2003 last week? That's when we say roughly probably when we started was 2003?
Yeah, around there. Like 2003, 2004-ish.
13 years. Jesus Christ.
I remember, do you remember, I don't think you would, but I remember like dicking around and you're like, yo, Derek, I found the best way to make money. I'm like, how? And you like brought me to the Lumbridge Castle to the second floor.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Kill these men and take their money and watch. There'll be a bronze dagger that spawns here, so you take those and sell them at the general store.
And this was before there was a bank at the top of Lumbridge Castle, so you'd have to fucking walk back and forth, and you couldn't just bank them. But, fuck. A ton of those moments, because...
But it's all about the fucking journey.
Yeah, no, those are great.
I mean?
And which is, yeah, it's awesome. And what's really cool is when I see like a lot of new players, because like I'm sure you'd sit the same way when you think of like people who are playing RuneScape. You're probably thinking these are all people like us who played 10 years ago and quit.
Yeah,
and we're all coming back, but there's a fair bit of people, more than you'd expect, that are playing that have never played the game before, or like just hearing about it and stuff like that, which is cool because they're experiencing like, all this shit that we experienced. We were younger though, so we were like retarded, so we didn't know how to handle anything, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I had membership, so I got a month of membership just because I think my mom got it for me, but we never had internet, so I had to play it at the library. And then my dad had internet, and they were divorced, so I had to go see my dad every 2 weeks, go to his house on the weekend. And I remember for that whole month, the only thing I did was I went to the Brimhaven agility course on Karamja, and that's it. I just did agility, and I think I got 45 agility in that month, or maybe 40 years. I got a level that to me was high. It was one of my highest skills. It was, or at least it was up there. And that's all I did. I thought it was the most fun thing ever. And every time I went on, like, all I want to do is this agility course. I go fish some lobsters, run back and do it. And I wasted my whole month of membership, and I didn't try anything else except for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember getting membership. I think I said this before, and me and my friend just like explored everything. We got like the tribal masks, and we're like, "Oh, this game is so sick! Look at what we got!" Like, we did nothing with that month. Like, we fucking just explored, I guess.
It's fun though, and like, seeing all those items and I miss that, man. Seeing all the fucking different weapons and armor and clothing that you know, are just cosmetic, but you look at them and be like, what the hell is that? Oh, where the hell did you get that pirate outfit? Like, you remember when we came out with, when Cabin Fever first came out?
Yeah.
And I think that brought, either the Cabin Fever or the Great Brain Robbery. One of those two, I believe. But you could get different colored pirate outfits. Yeah. Bandanas and stuff. I remember that everyone was going crazy, and like, you could sell that armor when it first came out. You could sell them for like, you know, not too much, but fair chunks, and they were easy to get. So people would make killings if they were the first people to beat the quest.
Yeah. I remember being obsessed with that, trying so hard to get it.
There's tons of different things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your week, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, actually, so let me just go over what I did this week on RuneScape. I didn't do too much, but I got some motivation came out of nowhere. Maybe it's because I'm broke poor now, but I wanted to get my pier up. I'm making a barrels anchor pier, which is, if you don't know, it's basically like a harder to make and harder to play obby mauler. Is that?
Yeah, it's not as good, but it's probably more fun.
It might be more fun. We'll see. And you might lose more money when you die. But anyways, moving on. So I decided to start playing that. I banged out some quests. And I said a few episodes, probably a handful now, that I was going to be making a pure guide. So I'm almost done that, but I also want to get my barrow chest, my barrel chest anchor pure kind of going. I don't know, to see how it fares. Maybe I'll get some more information. But anyway, so I decided to get him rolling because I really want a PK, and thinking by this weekend I'll have him with a barrel chest, and we'll see if I can go PKing. I'll probably not be able to be effective, and I'll probably just get my ass handed to me. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I have a problem with RuneScape. I get this itch where I want to make fucking one of so many different types of accounts, and I can justify it in my head how I'll have time for it all. Because back in the day, I had my main. My first pier was a range pier, so literally just range. And I decided let's make just a melee pier, and then I made a hybrid pier, which actually got pretty good. But then I made a skiller, a level 3 skiller, so I made that. Then for some reason I have an account was just for fishing. I don't know why. His name's Fisher Freak, and I went on him, and I was like, oh, he still works, and I can play him and whatnot, but I don't know, man. It's retarded, but yeah, I was thinking of making like either a voider as well. But anyways, let's just, I'm rambling. Go around in circles. Let's move on. All right, let's move on to the news, because we saw, you know, some changes coming up, some little things tweaked and added in. As well, we saw in the polls a huge insurgence of items and weapons. They're really trying to get the raid drop tables to look pretty beefy, which is pretty controversial. So, but let's start with what's actually happened this week. So, Last Man Standing, little mini game that came out at the beginning of the summer, I believe it was. They're adding D-Claws and Dragon Claws and a Dragon Warhammer into the game. So it's kind of cool because Dragon Claws aren't currently in the game right now, in the base game. They used to be 10 years ago, but Not now. They ain't.
Yeah, they didn't want them when the first time they got pulled.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of finally sneaking them in.
Well, this is for Last Man Standing, so maybe this could be a way to test them out to see how they actually do. So, anyways, we'll talk more about that in a bit. So you can now view. They now have a stash unit list, which is near Watson's house, which is up in Sears Village. If you don't know what a stash unit is, they introduced this a little bit ago. So for clue scrolls, if you're unaware, you'll get a clue scroll every now and then that'll tell you to equip some weapons and armor and go somewhere and do an emotion, and and that's how you complete the clue. So there's a lot of these different types of clues out, so you can get really bogged up with items if you're doing clues often, and your bank will just get filled up with all these different items that you need for clues. And it's shit like steel plate body and like bone spear, blue mystic hat. So it's just random things. So anyways, they added an update a little bit ago where you can, around these places where you have to do the emote, you can stash a crate, which you can put the items into so you don't have to hold them. Anyways, there's a bunch spread out. There's a shit ton spread out in the world. So now they have a list so you can know which ones you need to get and which ones you're missing. Boom. Winter Todd, you can now trade in some of the uniques for more supply crates, which can give you uniques, a pet, or resources. There's an option. They added an option so that you can see in the chat box a little alert message will pop up when a valuable loot drops, and you can set what the loot amount limit will be before it starts saying it. So you can have it like 1 GP. So every time something drops, it'll say you just got, mithril dagger, and it'll pop up in your chat. Because currently, right now, I don't know what the limit is, but I know it does pop up if you're, doing a boss, and let's say, fucking Bandos chestplate drops. Pops up in green, Right?
Yeah, it's nice that they're finally adding something like this.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that RuneScape needs, and it's glad that they're actually slowly in time adding things that are needed and whatnot. And on top of that, they had the high stakes weekend for Last Man Standing, which it actually just passed. Okay, so I'll just explain that real quickly. In Last Man Standing, they have a casual and competitive mode. Casual, it's free. Competitive mode is 100K buy-in. Winner takes home 1.5 mil. Second place takes home like 500K. Third, fourth, and fifth get a free pass to play the next game. So every now and then they do a high stakes weekend where instead of 100K buy-in, it's 1 mil buy-in. Yeah, 1 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so a lot of people start playing that, which is nice to see because every time I've tried to go play Last Man Standing, there's no one there playing it. And every time I kind of, I think to myself, maybe I'll try some competitive. That could be kind of fun if there's money on the line. And there's literally no one. I'll go sit there for 5 minutes and it'll be like in lobby, 1 player. And then there'll be like 20 players waiting in the casual. And I'm just like, seriously? Like, you're not going to find anyone to do competitive.
Yeah, it's super hard to even get, casual. Which not many people do Last Man Standing.
I'm surprised nobody does, because when I was playing it, and I mainly played it in beta, I was going to say beta. It was fun. I remember for solid 2 nights, that's all I was playing. I remember taking a shit, and I brought my laptop in there, and I played 3 games, and my ass went numb, and I was like, okay, I should probably get off now.
That's about time.
Yeah. So, I want to ask, I'm trying to question, why does nobody play Last Man Standing? And then I think to myself, for the most part, why don't I play Last Man Standing? It's probably just because you're just you got better things to do at the time. And then when you do want to go play Last Man Standing, everyone else is, I got better things to do. So they're not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at the most popular mini games, it's shit that benefits you I mean, okay, sure, a chance to win money, I guess that's nice, but like, might as well go staking if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's faster process, and then it's like, you look at like Nightmare Zone and Barbarian Assault, like, everyone does that because you can get pets and gear from from Barbarian Assault, and then you just get crazy good experience and, you know, free herbs and shit from Nightmare Zone.
Exactly. So, let's just quickly talk about that, because maybe, you know, when I was a kid, again, I used to love RuneScape, where like I'd have a laptop to take into the shitter with me, so I used to have a little clipboard with paper, and I would write my own skills and draw my own items. Oh, this should be added into RuneScape. And you know what? I was pretty proud to say this as a probably 10 years old. Jagex stole one of my ideas. I fucking had farming down there. Derek, do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember this moment.
Yeah, and then farming came and I was like, no way! No way! Because I was really happy and I was like, yeah, they took my idea! Which, you know, impossible unless, you know, my mom was a Jagex employee. Not happening.
Yeah, I remember like logging on and seeing farming, and you and your friend Carl were like, oh, they took our ideas. It's like, oh, well, that's the way she goes. That's Jagex for you.
And I also I made a skill. I call it the entertainment skill. And basically what it was just like you would get things from, you get experience stuff just from playing mini games, and you can unlock certain items. Like you can get unlocks for those mini games at certain levels and stuff like that. There needs to be I'm not saying they should add a skill for fucking last man standing, but like they need to add some type of something, because they have a leaderboard that's not working. But
yeah, maybe like you get
maybe
points
seasons
or something.
Maybe seasons will, like, you know, at the end of blank, the top 10 players are gonna get I don't know, a banner they can equip that says, you know, winner of season 1, last man standing.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, because then you're gonna have people like, oh well, I want that. That's actually that's not a bad idea.
Like, careful with like win trading and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's nice to see that people actually played Last Man Standing this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you watch any of the high stakes?
Not
games?
really. I just heard that Bodhi has like the best win rate or something.
Yeah, so there's a streamer, Bodhi, who did a lot of it, and he's, if you're into the RuneScape streamer, you definitely have heard him, because he's pretty popular, and he's pretty good at, like, people will say like PKing and, you know, maybe last man standing, PvP, and RuneScape doesn't take that much skill, but fuck, it takes some type of finger twitching to switch between a bunch of those items and prayers and shit like that.
Yeah, you watch them doing their prayer flicks and all their quick item switches and shit, and you're like, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah, it's
like, there's no way I could smite, like, go from range to smite, then go back to mage, because now the other guy swapped, like, attacks.
Yeah, and like, I go to myself, like, you know, you could definitely train yourself to do that. The only problem is every time you get into the snare where I need to fucking prayer flick and try bit, I start, you know, having a minor panic attack and I develop Parkinson's and I can't even play.
Yeah.
Start shaking crazily. So yeah, I hope they find a way, because I don't know, some of the mini games here are awesome, and I loved fight pits, and yeah, just sad to know that I'll never be able to play it because ain't nobody playing that game.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we can get a group of us, get some listeners out there. Maybe we can have our own little fight pit party. We can bring it back.
Get our own fight club going?
Yeah, let's start a fight club. Dude. We'll make it real deep, just like the movie.
Yeah, we'll become a terrorist organization. It'll be pretty dope.
Yeah. No, maybe not. Okay, let's move on, because there's a bunch of items that are getting pulled currently right now, and they're really trying to get raids to have a decent drop table. So I wanted to go through it and get your opinion on it, because before, we've seen the Kodai robes and the twisted elder robes and or whatever. I think I mixed those both up, but we've been seeing like armor sets and then after that they wanted there's some dragon short sword stuff like that. But now they have like a good 10 items that they're like, here's some pretty unique items. Bam, please put them in. So let's talk about it. I want to get your opinion on it, and it's very controversial because a lot of things are very close to failing. A lot of things are very close to passing, and there's a lot of hate and a lot of love for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing that's being pulled is the dragon claws. Let's go over it one at a time because there's kind of a bunch here. I'll just say all the specs. First thing coming out in the polls is dragon claws. It needs the special takes 50% energy, and you'll hit 4 times. The first hit will hit you'll hit your normal hit. The next hit will hit 50% of that hit, and then the third and fourth hit will hit 25%. So it'll equal the same amount as your 50% hit. Yay or nay? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it. Yeah, let's just bring it in already.
You want to bring it in?
Yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah,
I think people's biggest concern is that like
there's the ballista, then there's the AGS. Like everyone who like cares is like the PKers and whatnot.
That's what I'm saying though. Like my problem that I always saw with it back in the day was it will tear the shit out of you if you have no defense.
Yeah, but I don't know. AGS is still better. I'm pretty sure the AGS's max hit is the same or higher than the D-Claw's max hit.
I think it's isn't it like 67?
Yeah, like the D-Claws doesn't hit as hard, and I think the big thing is that the D-Claws special hits over 2 game ticks, so you can eat during the special. And with an AGS, it's just 1 tick, so you can, do more damage much quicker, and you can also stack your AGS hit with like your magic shortbow or something.
True.
You can't you can, but you can't really do that as effectively with the D-Claws.
I think my problem is like when every time it happened to me in the past, I got overwhelmed by all the numbers that show up that like it's hard to gauge whether or not it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
At least with an AGS, it's one flat number. Bam, 69. Oh, didn't kill me. You know what I mean? But like with a D-Claw, it's spamming 4 numbers at you, and you just gotta like, okay, quick math. Or maybe I'll just spam click all my food. But normally if possible, and it's kind of a good strategy, it's risky, but if someone's gonna try to KO you and they don't KO you, usually they're at a risk, and you might be able to counter KO them. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, most people just eat to 99 health, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, like, when someone specs, sometimes I'm like, you know what, I think I might survive this, and I'll let them hit me, but then I'm ready to fucking do the exact same thing back at them, because I know they're trying to finish me off. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what, this is where you die. And this, I got a few kills that way, but I've also died a few times out. Okay, So that's next on the polls. They're called the Ancestral Robes. Basically, they're the bandos of magic armor. And if you don't know, bandos is 65 defense to use, less defense than barrows, but has more offense stats. So this is what that is, but with magic. So each piece will give you 2% magic damage. What do you think? Yay or nay?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's time to have something better than Arams.
Yeah, at first I was like, nah, I don't think 65 defense armor should be coming from the raid. I think raid should be top gear. But then I was thinking about it, and there's a spot to be filled where it is the Bandos version, the Bandos variant. Bandos magic variant.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I changed my mind. I think this would be a good idea for it to come. Okay, so I agree as well. I wouldn't mind seeing those come in. Next is the Twisted Bow. I think this is a pretty cool idea. It's a magic-based longbow. Has very strong stats, but it is weaker. Like basically, when your opponents will be resistant to the damage the higher magic level they are. And in the polls it says magic in the higher magic attack bonus, but I think it means magic defense bonus. I think they mixed it up.
Yeah, they probably did.
So yeah, the magic-based longbow. Really strong, but if you're facing, if your opponents have a high magic level or have, maybe D-hide on or something, you're gonna be hitting a lower than what you might think. Yay or nay?
I mean, I don't like. There isn't really too much information on it.
There's more. It'll give you like actual numbers and stuff. I just didn't write them down. It'll show you a graph of how the damage kind of arcs versus magic level and magic defense.
Like, do you know, like, would I be using this on Zulrah now? Do you know what I mean? Like, is this gonna make Zulrah easier if I'm just swapping bows at this point, like a bow and a blowpipe, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can be like, oh, okay, you can use it in PKing and stuff, but like in terms of PVMing, like I'm not the best PKer. Shit, I kill skillers half the time on my peer to make money and shit, and kill like other PKers that kill skillers.
Mm-hmm.
Not too good in like bounty hunter and stuff. So like, I don't know. I'm just kind of worried about the PVM aspect. I don't know exactly how it's going to shake up PVM.
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to see. Because at first I was like, oh, this will probably be like a similar to a ballista. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, what? Like that's completely wrong. Because everyone you're gonna be facing is gonna have a magic level that's up there. So
Yeah, it just depends on like, but for terms of PVM, like who exactly are you killing, I guess?
I think this might be like the crystal. It's hard to say. I think it's like a crystal bow, but a different version of it.
Yeah.
Because it has 20 range strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which basically most bows don't have range strength because the range strength comes from the arrows you have. Right?
Yeah.
Yet this one does have a range strength of 20. So that leads me to believe that you're not going to have ammo with it.
Yeah, see, like I don't really want to give too much of an opinion because I don't really know that much about the bow.
Okay, well, all that information thrown at you right now, just like...
I don't know. Like, I'm really on the fence. Fuck. I have no idea.
I'd say, why not? It's cool. I like the idea of a magic-based longbow that's kind of strong stats, but it's weaker against opponents with magic. That'll be interesting just to see how it works. For me, at least right now, I'm sure there definitely are some negatives. If you ask any of the, I guess, top-tiered players, they'll be able to tell you, but I can't see any downfalls of this coming into the game.
Yeah.
To devalue your crystal bow, I don't know.
Well, it really just depends on like what people are going to start using it for outside of PvP or PKing. Like, it could make certain bosses extremely easy, or make,
Depends how easy though, because you gotta remember, if it does do that, this bow is probably gonna be pretty expensive.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I mean the concept's cool. I mean, sure, why not? I'm just okay. I guess as of now, I'm saying sure, like yes, but kind of
obviously it can change. They can easily bring it out and be like, oh, by the way, it's really fucking overpowered, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty uninformed right now. Let's keep that in mind. Obviously. But I'm saying sure, why not?
Because even the next one's very... Okay, there's a new... you'll see what I mean. So the next item is a Twisted Buckler. It's basically your best in slot range offhand. It's 2 points better than the Obdium Ward, which is a shield that comes from a wilderness boss. I can't remember which one, but it'll give you a range bonus.
Yeah, well, the Odium, it's
Yay
like...
or nay?
Well, that's the thing. The Odium shards, they're like 1 out of 256 out of the 3, the Chaos Fanatic, the Crazed Archaeologist, and Scorpia in the Wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's kind of risky and it's kind of a bitch to get. Let's say you're an Iron Man. Like, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it all depends on, like, how hard it is to obtain.
Well, there's always going to be like
shit, what if it turns out it's easier to get in the Odium Ward, and the Odium Ward is completely useless?
Do you think there's room in the game right now for a best in slot range offhand? For a new best in slot range offhand?
I mean, I guess. Sure, why not? Like, that's the thing. Like, okay, yeah, fine, why not? Like, I don't know. Like, there's not... Like, I kind of just wish they would just tell you everything. Like, this is the drop rate, this is that. Like,
because they don't know it. The reason they're not gonna put all that work into it, because what if they put all that work and it just doesn't pass?
Yeah, but I think that's better than like, hey, here's 20% of the information, just kind of blindly vote yes, and then we'll tell you more.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But okay, so Twisted Buckler, yay, nay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say the everything that they've stated, and if that all sounds good, you know what I mean. Just based it on everything I've said, don't try to fill in the gaps of like, well, what if the drop rate's like 1 out of 100?
Yeah.
Anyways, the Din's Bulwark. It's a 2-handed shield. Its special attack drains 50% of your energy. It hits in a 5x5 square with 20% more accuracy. While in the block style, you cannot attack, but you will have reduced damage to you by 20%. Does not work in PvP. There's about 8 ticks in between swapping, so you can't swap to it real quick and then swap to something else.
Okay.
You have to swap and wait 8 in-game ticks, so it's like 5 seconds. The weapon strength on it was 38 strength, which is... I put this in there. It was just as strong as a rune short sword.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think it's time for something like this. I like that.
I agree. It's a cool idea. It'll actually, you might be able to see, more strategy, and you actually have tanks.
Yeah,
you have dedicated tanks, dedicated rangers, dedicated melee damage, dedicated majors.
Yep.
Whatever the fuck. You might actually see some strategy coming into play here. Cool. So yay to both, or both yay to that. Next is the Dragon Hunter crossbow. 95 range. Sorry. 95 bonus range. Hold on one second.
Like the range damage or the range strength?
Okay, sorry. The Dragon Hunter crossbow has 95 range attack bonus. So I put this there just to compare. Armadillo, which is right now the best, I believe. It has 100. So this is just 5 behind Armadillo.
Okay.
You need 65 range to use it, and then when you're facing dragons, you have 10% more damage and accuracy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I think it should have maybe a little bit higher range level needed. 65 isn't too hard to get. But whatever. Moving on. Dragon Harpoon with or without a Smoldering Stone. So it's going to be just like the Dragon Pickaxe and the Dragon Hatchet, where you can equip it, and it's just the best to use for the resource.
Yeah.
But this also says 20% faster 20% faster compared to the normal harpoon. I know we're talking about this before the show. It's hard to say if that means it's going to catch every fish, or if you can only catch, tuna, swordfish, shark, the fish you normally would catch with a harpoon. So that's something you have to wait and see. What do you think, yay or nay?
I mean, I'm all for it because it might make sharks cheaper.
True.
And also,
Yeah.
I like to fish sharks and stuff. If I'm gonna fish, that's kind of my AFK fishing method. I just do sharks, and that would kind of help me out too if I were to do that, I guess.
See, now this one I'm kind of on the fence for. Because I don't know if this item belongs in the raid drop. It seems kind of out of place to me.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like... Actually, never mind. Besides that, I like this item. I think it deserves to be in the game. Sorry, I didn't mention this. The special it has on it does the same thing as the pickaxe and the hatchet. It raises your fishing by 3 levels. Sorry, I should have said that. Yeah, I think this deserves to be in the game. I don't know if it should come from raids. Seems a little bit out of place.
Yeah,
it seems like they're just trying to find whatever they can to put in there.
Yeah, I do think they should change the name of it though.
The Dragon Harpoon?
Yeah, because there's no bronze, there's no steel. Like, it's just like you get a harpoon and then a dragon. Like, they should at least change it to like Twisted or Elder. You know what I mean? Like something.
See, this is where I was a little conflicted a moment ago, is because they already have the Barbarian Harpoon, right?
Oh yeah.
You would have to kind of, I don't know, what happens when barbarians evolve? Viking harpoon?
Yeah, but like, it shouldn't be dragon. Like, I understand like the whole idea of dragon, but they really should choose a better name.
I agree. Maybe
smoldering harpoon. I don't fucking know. Something though. Something. I don't know. Something a little. I don't know. Goes with the theme.
It could either be in the barbaric elder harpoon or whatever elder harpoon.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's gonna come from the raid, it should do a little bit more than just. That's why I'm on the fence a bit, because when you say like a dragon harpoon, I'm kind of picturing a fucking harpoon gun.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when I picture that, I'm just like, oh, that's not like the worst idea I've ever had.
Yeah, they really should change the name, but
so I like what it is. Name maybe change, and maybe not from a raid. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I guess you agree. Or are you okay with them in a raid?
Yeah, I think as of right now, I'm fine with them in a raid, unless there's like a way better idea on how to get them. Maybe like a quest or something.
Quest would be cool. You would be sweet. Having a quest that would be like they add a quest with the raids, and then like the final part of the quest is beat the raid.
Yeah, see that
World of Warcraft has that shit.
See, that would be pretty sweet. As like, you can't start the raid until you get to like this point in the quest, and then once you start, let's say you get to like step 5 of 7. Like step 5 is, kill this boss, and then 6 is kill this boss, and 7 is like kill the last boss, and blah 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 blah.
It's hard to. Actually, I just thought of a cool idea. It'd be cool for them to have a quest, and then like you need to get the jar. Let's just say, because every boss drops a jar right now. So if you don't know, the bosses drop a jar, which virtually don't really do anything. I think they have a use in your player-owned house, but anyways. Maybe each of the raid bosses will drop like their heart, and you have to collect all their hearts, but the hearts are super rare and you can't trade them, and that's how you can complete the quest. And you can't do the raid until you're halfway done the quest. So then you have people, you're doing the quest for the items, but you're also trying to beat the quest, because I don't know, that'd be cool. It'd be a quest that's actually pretty fucking hard to do, that you're not able to just read a guide. It's gonna be like, yeah, you might have to do the raid a good 100 times before you get all of the pieces of the heart, because they're kind of rare and you need to get them all.
No, I would like something like that.
It'd be cool, but the thing is,
Like,
if they don't, they're just if they don't do it, I don't know.
Yeah,
we
they
have to
don't
make
do
a
it
Reddit
correctly.
post.
It's bad, but it'd be cool that you have to like kind of prove yourself, I guess, before you can actually do the raid.
The only issue is you're gonna have a lot of people being like, "Well, I just want to do the raid as soon as it comes out," but you know what? Nah, let's get some fucking requirements. Can't just let anyone walk into this raid here. We need some qualifications.
yeah, exactly.
You need to have a nice nice beefy resume before you go in there. All right, sorry. Let's move on to the last pieces of it. So we've seen this pulled over and over again, and they just ain't sinking love. So the next ones on the polls are the Elder Armor. It's a degradable armor that's going to cost about 100k an hour to use. More defense than Bandos, less than Torags though. It has the same strength bonus as Bandos, but it's also more accurate. You'll need 75 defense to wield them. What do you think? Yay or nay?
Yeah, I like him. I've said this before. I like that.
I like that. Seems a bit expensive. We'll say that 100k an hour. Fuck.
Yeah, but I mean,
what do you like? You're only going to use it for bosses. I don't know. Maybe start off at 100k and it'd be cool. Maybe for like a quest to come out where you can extend that.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
makes it cheaper or something. Maybe some diaries because eventually more armor is going to come out and no one's ever going to be fucking sticking to this if it costs that much money.
Yeah.
Actually, that'll just cost the armor to tank to get pretty low.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Yay or nay, I'm cool with it. You're cool with it too, right?
Yep.
Kodai armor, basically the same thing, but the mage version, 100k an hour. More defense and attack than Aram's, but it has no bonus damage like the Ancestral. So the Ancestral will probably hit higher. These will probably be more accurate.
Yeah.
Cool with it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. Twisted armor, 100k an hour, more accurate, and defense than Armadillo. But this also has strength bonus.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's overall better. It all seems good. Kodai seems to be getting the shittier end of the stick out of the 3 pieces.
Yeah. I think it's just how Mage goes.
That being said, as of now, Monday, and they're going to be taking off the polls on Wednesday, everything's passing just barely, except for Elder, Kodai, and Twisted Armor.
Mm-hmm.
Just isn't going to pass. And I think it's because people don't like it that they degrade, but no, they definitely 100% should degrade. I think every armor past Barrows should be degrading in some sense.
Yeah, the only thing is I find if you're going to balance some armor, I feel like degrading is like a really lazy way to...
It's not, I don't think that's not balancing, but I find it more to do with like a money sink. So some people can't just buy, boom, this great armor and okay, let's go farm this boss for hours on end. Because,
yeah,
like,
that's true.
Even me, I was doing NMZ last night while I was playing Civilization and Conquering the World, and then I would look over and I'm like, I want to go do NMZ again, and I'm just like, I gotta go fucking repair my armor. All right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is I don't really, not too often that I'm like everything's at 0 because I wasn't paying attention. So I go and repair it, and it cost me like 300k, and I'm like, fuck.
But where are you
like,
repairing it?
Full Deherox from Bob's.
See, you gotta go to a player-owned house and use their armor stand. It's like 180k or some shit.
I can't be bothered. But anyways, what I wanted to say was like,
it's more convenient. It's way more
not
convenient.
really. I can home teleport. I can get to Lumbridge from anywhere.
But if you're
That's just
NMZing in
home.
World 330, you just run to the portal and you nil, and then you look for a host. That's what I did.
True.
Yeah, that's what
You gotta
gotta
look
do.
for a host, and then you gotta tip them.
Nah, you don't have to
Fuck
tip
it.
them for shit. I've never tipped them.
Oh, you should. You can't be that guy. You're that guy.
Hey, thanks for, having an armor stand, even though, dude, they make so much money.
I'm like, fuck. I go in there and I act like Bill Gates, and I drop like, hey, thanks for letting me bury 10 bones. Here's 100k, and I leave.
Man, I've done it where I'm leveling, when I'm leveling prayer, and some dude hits 99, and it's like, all right, here you go, and just gives him like 100 mil or some shit, and just leaves. And it's
100
like,
what?
I've seen a guy like tip 100 mil before when he got 99 prayer, and he just left.
Well, yeah, 99 prayer. You definitely got like money,
But like,
for that.
I don't know. Half the time they're botting. Those guys are just botting.
No, what?
Oh yeah,
It's a pretty intense accusation. It sounds like one of these guys has wronged you in the past, and you're like,
nah.
fuck these player home standers and
Well, shit. Like, what do you
people
like,
use their altar.
half the time? Like, okay, there's one guy. I don't remember what his name was, but I couldn't find his armor repair stand, and he's just standing at the altars making sure they're lit. I'm like, yo, dude, where's your armor stand? And he's just like not responding. And I'm like, yo,
He's probably doing something else.
no, like he
letting-
stood there for like fucking like 8 or 9 minutes, just doing nothing. He was just standing there, and
Probably gets people
could
asking that all
not
day.
Find his armor stand. I could not find it, and then
Okay,
someone
you got-
eventually
you-
found it and showed it, and it was like hidden in the most stupid corner. And I guess my camera angle was blocking it, and I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, what the hell? This guy just, what is he doing? Why is he just AFK? At least Alk or something. No, a lot like there are people that do bot that though. Like, it's kind of.
I'm sure there
It's
are,
definitely
but
not
to say that
unheard of.
most people do. Oh, that's definitely bull. Because like I've done it a bunch. I've used people's houses all the time, and like every time I tip them at like 10k or something, and they'll always say like "thank you" smiley face and stuff like that. They always respond saying, "Oh, you didn't have to," shit like that.
Yeah, but you know, you can have a bot say thank you.
Oh,
I mean,
know, but
I mean, when I was doing NMZ
you have like a
for
fucking tinfoil hat on over there.
I mean, when I was doing NMZ for like 2 weeks straight, every time I went to repair, I went to one specific dude's house because you can go into like a house party like CC and you can always find a host, and it was always the same dude. Doesn't matter what time, like, because there's nights where I was pulling 24-hour shifts, like doing schoolwork and stuff, and just NMZing in the background, like 4 a.m, same guy is still there in the same spot. Go repair my armor, you know. 3 p.m, I get back from school, and I'm like, oh, I should repair my armor before I start doing this, and I forget. He's still there. Like, the guy was on, like, every single time for 2 weeks, and I bet you if I were to log on right now, he'd probably still be there. Actually, I don't know. It's been like a month, but I hope he's not still there.
That guy's sole purpose is to be on for you to repair your goddamn armor, and you sit and you're just like, he probably sees you walk into his house, and he's probably just like, he's back, finally! Finally, I'm useful. And then you leave, and you're just like, report this guy?
No, I don't report them. Fuck it.
What the fuck?
I'll let them
They're
do
doing
that.
a service to society.
Yeah, no, they're being helpful. But I
Listen,
mean...
I'm standing up for the home standers.
Yeah, I guess
I know they're people too.
Yeah, I guess I can't just justify doing that for, you know, weeks on end. But, you know, it's how he wants to play the game, I guess, right?
Exactly. Cool. So that's the news. Ain't too much happening. A little bit here and there, but come Christmas time, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're gonna open up our presents live on air and talk about it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get another fucking first aid kit.
What?
My aunt got me a first aid kit for my birthday. Actually, though, it came in handy.
Where's some of the... So, okay, the funniest thing, our aunt will give Deagin, like, presents, but they're, like, really passive-aggressive kind of presents. Like, I'm trying to think. You'll, like, open it up, and it'll...
Bed sheets?
It'll be, like... Or, like, air fresheners and stuff like that. Or, like,
she got me a book
up,
she got me a book on video game addiction.
Yeah, exactly. Shit like that.
I mean, obviously she's doing it, like, it's a very nice, like, and thoughtful thing.
Oh, yeah,
like,
she's not doing it out of, like, to be mean or anything. She's doing it to, like, oh, you know, I thought just you might learn something from this book.
She does have an odd train of thought. You know, lovely lady, love her and everything, but I have heard her say, should I bring my cell phone? Well, after 9/11, anything's possible, and she brings her cell phone into the restaurant. I've heard her say that out loud to me.
Wait.
Like, she has a really weird train of thought, I guess. She's a super nice lady, but, like, she just has a weird train of thought. Like, she's probably in the bookstore, and she's like, oh, I see Deagin on the computer a lot. He must be addicted, you know, maybe this will help him. And then she gets me a book and pressures me into reading it.
I get that. What was the 9/11 thing?
Oh, just an example of how she'll have like a really random weird train of thought. Like we're going into a restaurant and she's like, should I bring my cell phone with me? Well, after 9/11, anything's possible. And keep in mind, like, you know, we're in Canada and stuff. And she like, I don't know how that comes across in someone's mind to bring a phone into a restaurant. You just do it naturally, right? I don't know. Very weird lady, but very nice, I guess.
We went over for, family dinner. Me and Deagin go over. And, you know, our cousins and all that there. And this is over this whole Donald Trump shit. What did he say? Like, you know, that whole grab her by the pussy?
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I don't pay attention to that shit. But she comes and I just remember my aunt was talking to her daughter, like my cousin, like, it's disgusting, you know, how he could say that. And then she's like, Mom, just ask, you know, whatever. That's what all guys talk about. And then my aunt's like, Dylan, is that true? Like, are guys like that? I'm just like, you know, I work on a construction site. I'm like, yeah, it's that grab her by the pussies. Like, that's tame. That's not bad. Like, you know, you hear like, so what'd you do last night? Oh, I tongue punched her fart box. You hear shit like that. You're just like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, describe in the most vulgar way possible.
I mean, I've never heard anyone say grab her by the pussy, but it's locker room talk. It's just locker room talk.
It's just the boys. Yeah. It's just the boys. No, I've heard things like that where like they say like grab her like a bowling ball.
Yeah. Hold her like a 6-pack.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I guess I have heard that. I'll take that back then. I guess I've
Yeah, you
heard
just
that.
hear that's the Canadian variant.
Yeah.
So that's pretty jokes. Cool. All right. Anyways, that's the news. So let's move on. Want to take a quick breather?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll just take a quick 2 minute. I'm gonna get some holy shit,
Some sustenance.
I'm gonna get a beverage. Yeah, I need something. I need fucking something. All right, so we're back. Let's get right into the topic of the week. What do you got for us?
I think we should talk about the combat system.
The combat
I think
system.
RuneScape's got like a really unique combat system.
Do you like
especially for like an MMO? It's like it's very different, and some people like it. Actually, it deters people from playing the game.
I think
but then some people stick to the game because of it.
It's a love or
really
hate.
Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's pretty obvious when EOC came out and everyone flipped out. Like the current combat system in old school, like.
So yeah, let's go over quickly before we compare we'll talk about the EOC afterwards and maybe go into it for people who don't really know, because I kind of don't really know. I know you kind of adjusted to it a little bit, right?
Yeah, I played a little bit of EOC. Yeah.
Yes, they changed it up real hard. So anyways, let's back it up though, or talk about the current system, what we play right now. So yeah, the pros. What do you think? Let's compare it to like a game like World of Warcraft, maybe. Like, what's the pros of having a combat system like RuneScape, where you kind of,
the biggest pro I think is that it's very like simple. It's relaxing, I guess. Unlike WoW, where people like make a joke like when I'm playing WoW and I'm talking to them, all you're gonna hear is. Like just button mashing. Like that's all you hear is just like all the button mashing, and it's like,
yeah,
you can't just click and just chill. You can't like really, fight like monsters in WoW and watch a movie and intently watch a movie. Like that's the one thing I love about RuneScape is you set up into like a Slayer task or something, especially if there's auto retaliate, and then you're just like, all right, boom, click a movie or like click a TV show. And like shit, I get most of my show and movie watching is when I'm playing RuneScape.
And what's great is I feel like they've set up scenarios where, let's say you're doing Slayer and you get one task. They'll set it up so you can either there's a place you can go kind of AFK at, and you can, not really pay attention. And then there's other ways where you can be more, you can pay more attention. So for instance, let's use like Dagginoths. You could either, there's like level 79s in certain areas, whether it's in Zaya or the actual, like, underneath the lighthouse and shit like that. Anyways, you could just basically, you could set up a cannon, it's multi, you put on Guthans and AFK if you want. You don't even have to look. Check back and you have your whole task done. Mm-hmm. Not actually, but
I think...
and if you wanted to, though, you could go straight to the bosses and pay more attention. You could fight the bosses instead.
So... maybe we take a step back and kind of explain more of like the mechanics of combat. So the way like RuneScape in general and combat works is on like game ticks.
It's almost turn-based, eh?
Kind of, yeah.
In a sense.
Like the way like you might hear people talk about like 3-tick fishing or like, tick this or whatever, like 1-tick AGS specs, like you will hear people refer to that. And really like the whole game is kind of run on ticks, kind of like a metronome. And so every tick is like 0.6 seconds. So like easy way to know what a tick is if you're walking, like every time you step on a square, that's 1 tick. And so the way the game works is like attack speeds will like certain weapons attack faster than others, and they, attack every 2 ticks or 1 or 3. That's kind of how they determine the attack speed. And it's kind of based on this like metronome, I guess, type system. And so that kind of like
metronome,
makes
like
combat. Yeah, like it's really like it's just it just yeah, like that's really the best way I think to explain it. Like some people say that if you look at one of those multi cannons and every time it like turns a degree, that's like a game tick. So you can kind of so you can kind of tell what it is pretty easily. And it's nice because it makes the game like if you just want to relax, you know, kill monsters or whatever, you sit back and, you know, you just click it and, you know, every couple ticks you hit or, you know, you eat, whatever. It's not like, you're kind of set on like kind of like a grid or something. But it's really nice because of this game system, if you want to play kind of like, if you kind of want to go hard, I guess, like say you're PKing or something, you can manipulate the game to, you know, you'll shoot your bow, like your arrow from your bow, and you'll like run at the guy and you'll hit him with a melee weapon. And because the way the game ticks work, you can hit him twice, like 2 times the exact same tick, I guess. And that's like what they refer to as like AGS ticking or whatever, like 1 tick specs. So like it's really nice because it's kind of like it's simple to like play or easy to play, but if you want to get really good at, you know, the combat system, it's pretty difficult. You see people like how they pray flick, they use their prayer, they'll turn it on and off for like half of a game tick or 1 game tick, and you know, they'll do it as they attack or they get hit to, you know, so they don't use their prayer points, I guess, as fast. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of want to go over the mechanics
and
just real quick,
and that's why. But talking about the ticks as well, though. That's why you hear like groups of people who are focused real hard on the ticks to get the perfect experience in certain skills.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to combat.
Yeah. So like, what were your first impressions and stuff when you? Do you remember what your first impressions were when you played this game?
Yeah, I was
in combat.
You know, I was kind of a kid. The games, you know, I'm coming off playing are things like Final Fantasy, Pokemon, stuff like that, which are turn-based. And, you know, RuneScape's kind of, you know, it has the same kind of feel when you're playing it.
Yeah, like...
And it's, anyways, as it's simplified, where you're a kid, you don't have to, like, worry about, you know, with World of Warcraft, you start off from the get-go, you have like 3 spells. You kind of, you know what I mean? You have to navigate using them and moving. Mm-hmm. You know, when you're, you know, as a kid, you click on that level 2 man straight out of Lumbridge and you start fighting them. And you're like, oh, wow, just like that, it's happening.
Yep.
And as you said, though, there's more dynamics to it that make it more complicated when you start adding in. And, well... I guess, when you're adding in different combat styles, like range, mage, melee, like there's times you're wanting to swap between them.
Yep.
Not for just general training, but like bosses and PKing and stuff like that. So, I guess you can get really creative with the combat system.
Yeah.
Again, I'm kind of more focusing on PvP, but the way the combat system is, it allows for the PvP in this game to be just, I don't know, it's just balanced.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like you watch like certain people on YouTube and stuff, and like doing tribe rids where they bring, you know, range, mage, and melee into the wilderness and they fight with that. You can see them like shit, the amount of clicks they do in 0.6 seconds, they'll swap all of their gear and they're ready to cast the next spell within 0.6 of a second, like in 1 game tick, and they just like, yeah, like some people like are actually really good, and it's
focusing on that while also focusing on what your opponent's doing, so that you're able to eat food. You know what I mean? You gotta like, improvise.
Yeah, some people like really take it to another level, and they make it super intense. And I mean, in terms of like PVMing, it's really, really basic in terms of like you're doing Slayer, you're killing, you know, trolls or something, right? And all you're doing is, you know, you're just clicking and just kind of chilling. But then once you get to like bossing, like, you know, I'm a pretty like casual player. I mean, shit, I've had problems in the past with this game where I get too addicted and it's turned into me having to sell everything I own and then like, well, in the game, not in real life.
To buy bonds.
Yeah, no, but
that
I
bond
sold like
addiction.
everything. I sold my whole bank, and I just like, all right, 8 months, I'm not touching this game. You know.
You know what's
but
funny?
Other than that,
I just want to cut him real quickly. When when the wilderness got taken out and I quit, I did the exact same thing. I knew I was gonna keep wanting to come back, so I gave away all my items and then gave away my account. So I was like, I never want to play this game because also back then, RuneScape, like when you're a kid, RuneScape was kind of criticized, and you're kind of, I don't know.
well, it
Felt
really depends.
shameful
When
to
it,
play it for the most part. You know what I mean?
I think it kind of depends. Like when you're really little, like shit, I would go. Like I met some of my first friends when I moved because like. You know, because of RuneScape, and like, you know, you go to the local library, and then there's those two friends or one friend you met at school, and then a bunch of other kids, and everyone's playing RuneScape together, and boom,
Oh, yeah,
let me
no,
add
me
you, let
too.
me add you, let me add you.
But okay, one time I was in, I think, grade 10. So what am I, 14? 15?
Yeah, something like that.
And I remember being in science class, and then someone was talking about World of Warcraft, one of my friends, and I turned around, and I was just like, I made fun of him for it. And then he was just like, real, I was like, shut up, Dylan, you play RuneScape. And I was like, oh, shit. And then like 3 people were like, you got fucking owned. What an idiot.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here.
See, I was like that though, but with games in general. Like I had like, you know, a group of friends, we all played games, but like other than that, people just like, okay, I had a girlfriend in high school, and I was so embarrassed about me playing video games. She'd be like, so what do you, like, before we were dating, like, do you have any hobbies? No. What do you do when you get home? Nothing. I smoke weed. And she actually thought, I actually convinced her. I actually convinced her before, like, you know, she, like, before we ever hung out and she came over, she actually thought I got home from school, just smoked some weed, and fucking did nothing. She thought like I just did nothing, and she came over.
Instantly go to sleep.
Yeah, like she thought I did nothing, and then yeah, she came over and like I guess took one look at my icons on my laptop, and she's like, "Oh, you play a lot of video games, huh?" It's like, "Yep."
Is that why you have 3 laptops and a desktop computer?
So you got 2 monitors and your laptop go. Either this guy really likes movies and porn, or he plays video games. Like,
That sounds so stupid.
yeah,
Shit.
yeah. I can't. I don't know. I was super like in the closet about playing games, but like, I don't know. Now with RuneScape, it's kind of like, well, now I think now that I'm older, I don't really give a shit. Like, someone
I don't
asks,
give a
like,
fuck
what do I play? And it's like, oh, I play everything. Like right now, I've been playing Skyrim. I play WoW. I play RuneScape. Like, and like some of my real life friends like do make jokes. Like, oh, fuck off, you and your RuneScape. Go eat some lobster. Like they'll make some stupid jokes about me playing RuneScape, and it's like, go fuck yourself. You know, like I like to feel like I'm accomplishing something while I'm doing schoolwork, or you know, while I'm not doing anything. Just like it's nice to have something going.
Put that on your resume. 99
Yeah.
strength, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, 99 construction. Fuck, this guy's hired.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Let's see that house. So anyways,
Anyways, back to the combat
yeah,
system.
combat system. Pretty good. I like it.
I was gonna say though, quickly, when it comes to, like PVMing, yeah, you know, generally you're doing Slayer, you're killing trolls, it's really boring. And like one thing, like, cause yeah, this is going way back, we got off topic. When I said like, yeah, I'm a pretty casual player, like in general, I had never like on old school at least, really done bossing until like a month ago or so after I got my 90 like base stats. And I did some KBD and some Zalro, but I'm not really going to count that. Like I'm talking about like Bandos and Calphite Queen and all that jazz and Dagginoth Kings. And for the most part, like with Calphite Queen and Bandos and stuff, like there are like actual mechanics, even though they're pretty basic, where it's like you hit them and then you walk under them and you hit them, but you have to really like use your game ticks, I guess, wisely, because if you're soloing them, which is generally how I like to do it, you're only going to get 1 kill. If you're lucky, like 2 kills in, you know, if you're new to it like I am. And it's actually like pretty challenging. You have to like manipulate, like, yeah, okay, I want, you know, now that I kill the boss, I have to pray for like 3, like attack range and melee while the Bandos minions are hitting me because I don't want to take any damage. And you're like sitting there clicking your ass off, like waiting for the perfect moment. And like, yeah, like I've done some bossing with my one buddy, And I'm always tank, and just one, because I have like the better gear and I have higher defense only by a little bit, but two, like I can prey flick like a lot of the mechanics, and he can't at all. So like when he tanks, like I have to give him so much food, and we get like nothing done. But when we solo, we can get like above 20 kills some of the times.
Damn. Whoa.
And I'm really new to it, right? So obviously, like I do mess up, like, you know, when we do fights, and I'm not like perfect yet. But like when it comes down to like having to prey flick the melee range and magic and whatnot with the minions, because they can actually do a lot of damage, and even prey flicking Bandos's like range attack and stuff, like it can get pretty challenging. And if you're like not that good at it, like I've seen people just like straight up die because they're trying to learn how to prey flick, and they end up just killing themselves.
And like, even I don't know, I think Zulrah is a good example to use, because when I was first doing that, I remember it was pretty difficult, and I tried to do it with the Arams and Carols switch. So you have to bring a mage and range setup for the most part. That was the way I was choosing to do it.
Yep.
And yeah, so I brought an Arams and Carols, which is like 3 armor pieces that you'd have to swap between when the boss changes forms. And you're also like prey flicking and shit at the same time. I was having the hardest time, and I was like, this is so fucking hard. Like, these boss mechanics are straight fucked up. I know people say it's like super easy once you learn the patterns, but I've studied this shit overnight, and I'm still getting fucked. Eventually, I ended up getting Void and was able to just do it in one shot, like the next time. But
you're just like, Jesus, fuck. What was I doing?
Still, for the first like 50 kills, I was like playing with only playing RuneScape, and I'd have all the in-game volume cranked, and I was like focusing, listening to everything, and I was like, man, this is kind of intense. Like, you really gotta focus, and like,
yeah.
There's some mechanics that would actually make it fun, and although I can do it now, and it's a lot easier, like I can do it and then like watch something on the side.
Yeah.
But still, like,
in the beginning, like the learning process is brutal.
No, I would still say like that's, I don't know. There's room for good bosses like that. But anyways, eventually we saw RuneScape change its unique and simple combat style to one that's more, I don't know, I guess complicated, but similar to games like World of Warcraft and Guild Wars and stuff like that.
Yeah, the evolution of combat,
Evolution of combat, which ended up changing a lot of the items as well.
Yeah, it really changed the game.
So, I just want to say real quick, their reasoning for it was because at the time they were just running out of things to do with the way the combat system and the armors they had in RuneScape. Like, since it was a simplified version, I guess you get kind of limited.
Yeah,
so you got to think out of the box at some point. Instead, they went to EOC, where they could just make bosses have different mechanics that you could have to, with the new game engine. Yeah, the new game engine to be able to play around it, because it's not based on ticks anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you think? You were there when it kind of first happened, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I actually remember the first day EOC came out. Me and my buddy, actually, who like we bossed together whenever.
Yeah.
We got on like the first day, and I remember like I got on.
I know they had the beta out, but did they just one day have a big update where it was introduced to the game, or did they just slowly start phasing things out?
From what I remember, my buddy like said to me at school, "Dude, you remember RuneScape?" Like, yeah, man. He's like, they came out with EOC today, and I remember hearing about it, right? And I was just like, oh, they're changing the combat. I don't really play it, but I don't care. Like at the time, I was kind of already losing like my lust for the game. And he came up to me, he's like, yo, EOC's out. And I'm like, yo, do you want to, let's fucking try it out. And we got on TeamSpeak, and eventually we're like, all right, dude, let's load up fucking RuneScape. This is weird. And we got on, and I just remember everything being so different, like just the way the combat and like your freaking skill bar and shit. And I remember like, all right, I'm gonna, go kill some lesser demons, I guess. And I went and killed them, and I was killing them for like 30 minutes, and I remember just like we sat there in silence, and I'm just like, well, good game, Jagex. Great fucking EOC update. And like me and him just start laughing our ass off super hard, and we still like it's still like a little ongoing joke we make just whenever something is like so bad. Like I hated it. Like it was like we kind of thought that it would be fun because we were playing WoW and stuff at the time, right? We're like, cool, like it's gonna be kind of more like WoW, like that's actually kind of a cool idea. But then when you sit down and played it, you're kind of like, when you log into RuneScape, you're probably still expecting like the combat style. You're just like, it's got to be kind of similar to it, right? It was so weird. Like it was still the same, but like now you're clicking buttons, and then they came out with like a recuperate, where like your special bar kind of where you'd have like a 0% and you'd go up to 100, and you could use like an ultimate skill for a lot of damage. But once you got out of combat, you could drain pretty much your special bar and heal up. So you would never, like, I never had to bring food. Like, cause I got back into it when, Legacy, I don't know if they called it like Legacy Worlds or something, but they brought back Worlds with the old combat system that you could choose to PK in or, PVM in. And that's actually how I made a fuck ton of money. I went and PK'd on those servers and I made like hundreds of mil. Like, it was awesome. But, like, I did so many risk fights and made so much money because people were so used to EOC. But, anyways, it was like, yeah, it's super weird just like how it worked out. And then you could get these auras where like you now heal off your basic attacks. And I remember buying the auras, activating it for like, 6 hours. Now I heal when I attack people. Like, and it's just like, okay, so I don't need food anymore unless I'm bossing. I'm clicking these skills. Like this is so this is fucked up. Like my bow now has an AoE move. Like what the hell's going on? This is not what I like. And, I mean, I guess some people love it, right? I guess, yeah, some people like still play RuneScape 3. Some people really like the aspect of it. And I mean, RuneScape 3 does have like a lot of good things that like old school doesn't have, but only because it's in RuneScape 3, I think. Only because it's like a new time and it's like a new MMO. But I mean, I guess like the combat system, like I believe RuneScape 3 still runs on game ticks, but the way it's presented is very different because you can dual wield weapons now, and like with your skills, and I don't know if RuneScape 3 is different in terms of game ticks. I assume it still is though. I don't really think they changed the game engine that much or get a whole new one.
See, my problem is like I hadn't played RuneScape for a long time. And when I did, I would jump on every now and then, but I'd play on my pure because I had to give away my main. And my pure is my account now. So,
yeah.
And eventually he was like, he was actually a decent pure when I would play him. And if you've listened to previous, he got ruined. So he ended up becoming like a shitty Zerker / main. Anyways, I had fairly high stats. I guess just decent stats. Anyways, moving on. I would go on after the EOC, and I just was so overwhelmed because I was just like, oh my god, I have like 72 new attacks that I have to, I'm like, what does this do? I'm like, oh, this is like a mini stun. Okay, that's interesting. And what does this do? Oh, this is another stun, but it takes less energy, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just like, oh fuck, I can't do this. So I just never played it. And then old school, yeah, I was playing old school RuneScape, and then I was like playing on my pure. Wait, so it's playing. Yeah, so then let's go back. Let's say a year from now, and I'm playing, just old school RuneScape on my main, and I have a new account that's a pure, but he was also I guess like an alt account. I played Deadman mode on it too, and I started to dabble into RS3 because I was like, you know what, let's try it from the very beginning, and let's see if I can, slowly get introduced to this new combat system. And yeah, I think I'm only like level 30 or something, but it's not bad. It's it's all right. There's nothing like bad about it, I guess. It's just the only thing bad is that it's different than how it used to be. I mean, I can't say, I don't know what's bad about it really. I'm not too ignorant.
I think the big thing is that with the EOC update, it turned RuneScape into something. It was it was like that guy that really, really, really wanted to be friends with that other group of people, like throughout school or something, or that girl that really wanted to be, popular or whatever, where they try so hard to be something else that they just are unappealing to both sides. Like, like EOC tried to be like a more,
modern,
more modern, like MMO. And the people that were like, the WoW players and all that stuff were kind of like that kind of just seems like a lazy version of like, not actual combat, but more, intuitive, I guess, like just more engaging combat. And then all the RuneScape players were like, we don't, like, there's a reason why we play this. Like, fuck, man, half our player base are Weed Wizard 420 at the time. You know what I mean? Just people that, like, just get home from school or work, maybe they get stoned or some shit. I don't know. And they just like the simplicity of the combat and the skilling and it's relaxing. Let's just click something and chill.
It can be as complex as you make it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And the activity you're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say it's pretty unique for how simple it is. I feel like not a lot of games, it's kind of hard to do it and do it right without coming off as lazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
like, I think, RuneScape actually has is the cornerstone of this type of combat. Like, there's no other game that has a combat system like this.
I think a big part of it though is that it's the amount of items, like weapons and stuff that are in the game, as well as you basically being able to trade the best items. Most games have them, soulbound and stuff like that. You can't trade them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice, but that's it for that. I think.
Yeah. Okay. So it's cool. It's a cool combat system. Simple but good. It's its own unique gem. So let's move on to the closing of the show, because we got a little giveaway going on right now. It's for a little way to win 500K. We're doing the draw actually the next show. So if you want to learn if you want to be eligible to win the 500K, all you need to do is join our Facebook group or follow us on Twitter and send your username if it's not obvious. We'll put you in the raffle and get someone 500K. And if you've already liked us or followed us or joined the group in the past, we'll automatically throw you in. So just so it's fair. And next on November 14th. Cool. Get in that. And emails, you can email the show at thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. Questions, suggestions, opinions, anything you want to hear discussed, or feedback. If you want to tell us we suck, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we've gotten zero feedback. Well, we got a couple, but not much.
Yeah, we just want to give you guys the best possible show.
Even if you have concepts for different segments and stuff, just anything, just if we can improve it and you have an idea on how to, just throw us a bone and we might pick it up.
Oh fuck yeah. That being said, we did get an email. So we got an email from, I believe it's John Simple. Maybe it's Will, I don't really know. Anyways, hey guys, really enjoying the podcast. Last month I started playing OldSchool RuneScape again after a 2-year hiatus. It's been good fun to play again. I started with an empty bank and slowly built it up to around 20 mil over the course of a month. It was going great. Man, that's a lot of money for fucking over the course of a month.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's good. It's good shit.
Yeah. Then a few days ago, I go to log in for the first time that day, and my authenticator is enabled. I didn't enable it. Someone had accessed my account. Dun dun dun. I go to my account settings and disable the authenticator, then try to log in again. It says my account is currently logged in. The guy was on my account at that very moment. By this point, I was worried. All the time I'd spent over the past month building up my account, what if I can't get it back? My account is up here. What if he gets defense on my account? That would ruin it. I go back to my settings, change my password, then navigate back to the login screen, type in the new password. My hands are shaking in anticipation. Press enter, and I finally managed to get in. My account isn't where I left it. It's in Feldip Hills. It's in Feldip Hills, and there are 350 red chinchompas and a stack of Fedlip Hills teleport scrolls in my inventory. The hacker had presumably been using my account to bot red chinchompas. So I checked my stats, and luckily my defense was still 1, and I'm actually 3 hunter levels higher than I was before. Nice. I teleport to Lumbridge, go up to the bank, and it's empty, nothing left. He took absolutely everything of worth, dropped my full graceful outfit, which as you know takes many hours to get. Actually, the hacker actually had time to holy shit. The hacker actually had the spite to drop my untradables. I had never shared my account. I made the account myself. I've never real-world traded or broken into rules. I must have simply been keylogged or something. I have now a 2-step authenticator on my account and also my email, and I've set up a bank pin, which is no, I'm just kidding. Imagine he gave it. I thought about quitting because it's hard to take losing so many hours of progress like that. I'm going to carry on, though. I seem to hear hacking stories so often in the RuneScape community these days. I don't think there's an issue with account security if you do things right, but it's definitely a problem. Just thought I'd tell you a story so you can urge listeners to get 2-step authentication and get a bank pin because I really regret not doing it. I never thought I'd be hacked, but I was. I don't know if it happens in a lot of other games, but it seems hacking and doxing people is a fairly big problem in the RuneScape community. Perhaps it's because it takes so long to build a powerful account that people just want it faster. Real-world trading is a big factor as well, of course. Really enjoying the podcast. Will. Thanks for writing in, Will. Really appreciate it. Yeah, that sucks you got hacked. I think we talked about this before, but have you ever been hacked?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in RuneScape, but yeah, I've been hacked before
What?
in other games. Habbo Hotel. I think I mentioned that earlier
shit.
this episode.
That's rough.
Yeah.
You might not even be okay to talk about it.
I've had my WoW account hacked a couple times by gold farmers.
Yeah.
And nothing bad happens because you message Blizzard and say, hey, my account got hacked. And they look, and when obviously you got hacked, and they just give you all the shit back that you had.
So,
and then you keep everything, that the botters took. So you usually make money when people hack your accounts.
See, that's the issue. I got hacked on World of Warcraft as well, like that. But I came on, and I guess they hadn't traded the gold that they farmed on it. So I just came back and I had 13k gold, and I was like, oh, all right. And I had all my items still. So RuneScape, the only times I've been hacked is when I give my password out to people that I don't even know in real life, and what do you know? Lose a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And I think I lost a Steam account from logging into a fake site. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think that happened to me too.
So I think the problem with RuneScape, because people will try to target you, and if you don't have the two-step authenticator, it's pretty easy to have, and it's pretty easy to get set up. You just have a little a little app on your phone. You click it, and there's a little PIN number that you have to type in, basically once a month for the computer you're in, and it's the only time it's annoying is if you're shit, I gotta go find my phone. You know what I mean? It might not be with you, but you do it once, and it'll save you, and also get a bank pin because that could prevent just this. Because the reason getting hacked on RuneScape is a lot worse, and I think is also why it's harder for Jagex to handle, because as Deagin said, in World of Warcraft, Blizzard will give back all the items you lost. I think I've been hacked twice and I lost all the items, but you'll come back and they have a log of all the last items you had, and they'll give it back. But it's because the items, for the most part, aren't really easily you can't really trade them, especially armor and stuff that they might have just done whatever with.
Yeah, they usually just vendor it, and
which
they just
is
sell it to a vendor.
Worth not too much, and it's not whatever. It's worth for Blizzard to return it to you because it's a pain in the ass to get, and you can't just trade it. So it's just but with RuneScape, if someone gets hacked and then Jagex gives them back, let's say I got hacked for something worth I got hacked for 20 mil, so Jagex gives them back 20 mil. So many people are going to try to exploit that.
Yeah, people will 100% try and exploit that.
And if you go on Reddit now, you'll see, like, if you visit that subreddit, you'll see often someone saying, "Oh, I got hacked because like I got hacked and like can Jagex return my shit because it's not fair." But half the time, why someone gets hacked, it's kind of your own fault. I guess. Does that make sense? Not your own fault, but like take the extra steps just to be careful. It's not hard to set up and like just something that you don't want to lose all your shit on, because losing your stuff sucks. But I think the worst is when a hacker's just being a fucking cunt bag and they just drop, like Will said, his fucking full graceful. That shit sucks, because like
they just literally drop time on the ground.
Yeah, that's
I
what it
spent
is.
50 hours getting this. Well, you're gonna have to spend another 50 hours more. Like,
you can't go buy bonds and then spend it on that unless, not really. So, no, that's mad shitty.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do is just, especially if you have a two-step authenticator where it has to go to your Gmail or your email account, and then you have an authenticator for your email. Like, that's what I have. I mean, I had a hack scare a couple of weeks ago. I think I was talking to you guys about it in Discord. And like my Gmail actually ended up getting hacked. And what some people do is, and this happens to a lot of people, there are websites you can go to that show databases that have been leaked. So people will like hack a certain website, and then they'll release all the account, like the emails and the password info. And a lot of these like actually have like plain text, so you can get the list, either buy it or, go through the underground, I guess. I don't really know exactly how you obtain a list, but you would get like pretty much in a notepad, email password, right? And what happened to what's happened to a lot of people in RuneScape is that their accounts have been leaked like through Neopets. That was a really big hack. Even League of Legends.
If you want to like kind of give yourself, like, scare the shit out of yourself a bit, I guess just make yourself paranoid. Try to find. I'm not going to give one of these sites, but if you want to try to, if you know of one of these sites or find one of these sites, be careful about getting viruses too. But go in and type maybe an older email you might have had when you were younger. I did that on one of my, like, I have an email that I used as a kid I don't really use anymore, and so much shit popped up, and then I could, if I wanted to pay money, I could recover like passwords and stuff, and I'm just like, huh.
Yeah, so what these people do is, they pay they'll sometimes even go to the website, pay the $2, type in emails of like people that they know, like RuneScapers and stuff, streamers and stuff, and they'll see if they have the same passwords. And I had the same RuneScape and email password, and I don't know how my Gmail account got hacked because it wasn't leaked on any of the websites, but I'm assuming on like maybe Facebook or something, some website, both of my emails were together. So I guess someone hacked my old email, and I was using the same passwords for like all three, and they found my Gmail, and I panicked because I'm like, oh shit, what happens if anything else gets hacked? So I had to go back and I had to make unique passwords for everything. And, you really should have, like, if you're not gonna do that for everything, at least have like email, one password, like video games, like have certain like genres of whatever with certain passwords to help you remember if you can't really remember your passwords.
Yeah.
And don't write them down, because my friend got hacked because when he was little, he would write down all of his passwords, and he had one of his friends come over and they were playing RuneScape on his computer, and he went to the bathroom, and my buddy actually explained this to me. He's like, I was hanging out in his room. He fucking hacked me on Neopets, and I saw the word password on a notepad, opened it up, and there was his RuneScape info. So I just remembered it, went home and hacked him. Yeah, no, actually though, because this kid is very good friend of mine. I still hang out with him, but he's very absent-minded, and like that's how he got his shit hacked back in the day. And just make sure you have different passwords, and use like 2 steps, and even have one on your email too, so they can't recover it. And don't fucking buy accounts.
Yeah,
what people used to do a lot back in the day, like 2012-ish, is they would go to like Zybez or some random RuneScape forum and say, I'm quitting RuneScape. I just got hacked. And what they would do is like actually just transfer all their items to another account. But here's my, it's level 110. Here's my info. And they just password an account, and then they would wait. Someone would obviously just, okay, cool, free level 100. And then they'd come back like a year or two later. And because of like the recovery system, they go and they recover their accounts, and then boom, like that's like a reverse type of a hack where they let people take their accounts and then purposely recover it later, and then they have a bunch of free shit, and that person wasted like a year and a half of their life.
Maybe not a year. It's like probably like months.
People like have done that and shit. Like I did that in WoW, but in a different way.
I think the guy who wasted the year is the one who's waiting for the other person to finish playing.
Well, like, no,
account.
what I'm explaining is the whole point. Like, let's just say for me, since I've been really busy with school, and let's say like I have no intention of playing RuneScape for like, you know, until I'm done school. So let's say 3 years from now. How good of an idea would it be to transfer? And I know I'm going to play RuneScape in 3 years. How good of an idea would it be to transfer all of my shit over to like my Pure, throw my account in the abyss and say someone hacked this, someone just take the account and change the password, and then I come back 3 years later when I want to play RuneScape again, and I just use my recovery questions, because you can recover if you remember, you know, your recovery questions and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I take it and boom, like my guy is super set up. You know, he's like, now he might be maxed and now he might have all this free shit. Like people used to do that. I used to do that with during Cataclysm in World of Warcraft. Kind of scummy, but what I would do is I would purposely get my account fished. Like I'd let like a gold farming company take my account, and then I would come back like 3-4 months later, recover it, and I'd have like, you know, 20k gold or something worth of herbs if I'm lucky, and then I would go sell everything, get my items back, wait a week, and then get it fished again. And I would do that over and over again. I had money that carried me over for like expansions. Like I did that, but in a more, I like to think it was more ethical the way I did it.
Yeah, it sounds like a rough money-making method. Money-making method.
Yeah, but yeah, you just got to be careful with especially buying accounts, because if I know the details of the account from when I made it on day one, like that will trump anything pretty much.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That you've done.
If you're playing on any account that's not yours, just know that at any point you could lose that account. And I've seen it on Reddit of people being like, "Oh my god, my account got hacked," and like all this shit, like tons of people, and then a giant uproar happens. Jagex has to finally come in and be like, "Okay, this guy clearly isn't the original owner. This guy bought the account, so and so."
And then at
this point,
hopefully,
the
sometimes
IP
they
address
admit it,
changed or something like that. You know, like, and it usually comes out, and then it's just like, shit.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
You just got like fooled.
Yeah.
Played the fool's game. Cool. Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for writing in, and yeah, really appreciate it. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking nuts, man. Anyways, let's get on out of here. What do you got going on next week?
School. I gotta hand my shit into my group. I have to finally get together with them.
Cool.
For my fucking history shit. School. I think that's about it. Nothing too much.
Gay.
Yeah, it's same old, same old. I mean, shit's starting to really ramp up. There's a lot of, this is where my program really ramps up, but, yeah, Christmas break will be nice, I guess. I'm just kind of waiting that out.
Yeah. Well, unlike you, I'll be doing things that actually matter, and I'll have my barrel chest, hopefully, on my Pure this week.
Damn.
Hopefully, I should say that, because knowing me, I'll just end up fucking staring at a wall. Just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Alright, so, yeah, if you guys want to figure out how you can keep in touch and, you know, or how to join our Discord server and come hang out, or whatever it is, I have, keep listening at the end, and there's a little recording that'll give you all the information. And that's about it. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. All right, awesome. Sweet guys, thanks for listening, and tune in next week for episode 11. Oh, and the 500k giveaway. Sweet. Yeah, cool. Thanks for listening, guys. Super appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, super
big milestone, you know, episode 10.
Oh yeah, we're in fucking double
good.
digits now. We didn't even sell. Well,
shit.
Let's go out with a bang.
Yeah.
All right, till next week.
All right, guys, have a good one. Yeah, have a good one.
To stay up to date with show news, RuneScape news, or just shitpost and hang out, You can find us on Twitter at The Wilderness RS. You can feel free to join our Facebook group at facebook.com/The Wilderness Podcast. We also have a YouTube channel set up, so feel free to check us out by just searching the name of the show on YouTube. You'll also see it over at Twitter and on Facebook as well. We also have an email set up, so if you want to get in contact, maybe you have some questions or something you want to hear discussed, a story you want to tell us, or just some feedback, you can email us at thewilderness.podcast@gmail.com. And we also have a Discord set up. And if you feel like you want to join and maybe hang out and play with some other scapers, just let us know. Send us a message and get in contact, and we'll get you in there. Thanks again for listening. We can't appreciate it enough. Have a good night.